Yes, y'all, and you don't quit. That was way off. Welcome back to the Solomon Project, where it's not how much you make, it's how much you keep that counts. I'm your host, Richard Burns. Guys, I think I'm still in Springfield, Missouri. I saw a sign that said downtown Springfield. It didn't look like any downtown that I'm accustomed to seeing, but I looked to the right, which is the direction that the arrow was pointing in, that said downtown Missouri, and didn't look like there was a downtown in that direction, or what I'm accustomed to seeing a downtown to be. But yes, y'alls. Welcome to Springfield, Missouri. We're on our way to Arkansas. Don't know how far I am from the border. Usually, when I look at my GPS, I'll know if I'm approaching a border when I see how far away I am from a way station, because they like to put way stations near the border. But in this case, nothing. No way station. Doesn't look like I'll be encountering a way station at all for the remainder of this ride, which is 231 miles remaining. Now, I already made a delivery today. It was to a Walmart. Walmarts are always nerve-wracking locations to go to. So far, and this is my second Walmart, it looks like I have 3 Walmarts to deliver to. Walmart is very strict with their time, and having 4 stops, 3 out of which are definitely Walmarts. I gotta check one of them. It might not be a Walmart, but my dispatcher has to know what he's doing when he accepts a run like this with at least 3 Walmarts. Because the way Walmart works is, when you arrive, you're going to be stopping by the guard shack. You're going to go to the guard, or they might come out. Whatever the case is, you hand in your paperwork. They process whatever numbers are on the paperwork to their handheld device or to their computer inside, and they assign you a door, and they give you the procedures associated with what you need to do when you back into your door. For example, and this is usually the case, you have to slide your trailer tandems all the way to the back, open your doors, back into the door, chalk the wheels. If you guys don't know what chalking the wheels means, just put it on the comments below, and I'll show you an example of that. You got to bring your landing gear from your trailer down, and then you got to disconnect your truck from your trailer. You got to fill out a page with some questions. They want to know your phone number, trailer number, truck number, name of the company, and that's going to be submitted to the office. Yes, you submitted the same paperwork to the guard at the guard shack, but that was just to get your door assignment. That's only part of the process. Some people make the mistake when they go to Walmart for the first time. They make a mistake of thinking that that's the beginning of the process, and if they made it on time, they're good. If your appointment's for 8 a.m., you arrive at the guard and it's 7:50, and you're under the impression that you've made it on time. Go to your door, go through the whole process. You don't have to go to the door first. You can go to the window in the office first. However, if it's your first time delivering to a Walmart, what happens is you arrive at 7:50 a.m., hand the paperwork over to the guard. The guard processes your paperwork, gives you a door. You go to the door and do as you're instructed. The tandem slides, the door opening, backing into the door, chalking, bringing down your landing gear, detaching from the truck. Then you head to the office. Might be 100 feet, might be 200 feet, but you're on your way to the office. You reach the window, and it's 1 minute after 8. Oh, you're late. $250 fee, and you're gonna have to go back to your truck, hook up again, and you're gonna have to get a new appointment, which is usually the next day. Crazy, yeah. That's how Walmart gets down. They do not want you on their property any earlier than 2 hours before your appointment. So if your appointment is at 8, they don't want you showing up any earlier than 6. They will turn you around. That's been the experience with most of the deliveries I've made to Walmart. So if the dispatcher's unaware, because the brokers definitely don't care, they're trying to get that load out. Once that load is assigned to a carrier, well, it's out of their hands. So the dispatcher has to serve as some kind of barrier against a broker that either doesn't care or doesn't know, because there are brokers that don't know. So after going through situations like that, it's not fun, for me at least, to see a route come through my phone and it says Walmart Distribution Center. However, so far, the time for each delivery has been spaced out fairly well. Well, you know what? I better think about what I'm saying right now. I'm on my way to my second Walmart delivery. Like I said, I don't know if the fourth one is a Walmart or not, but I'm on my way to my second one, and it's okay. According to the number of hours that I have left, I'll be very close to the next Walmart delivery. So I'll have plenty of time. Once my 10 hours are up, once I find some place to park and my 10 hours are up, I'll still have plenty of time to get to the second stop. Then I gotta check the third one. See if I have a good amount of time. So far, the first and the second one has an excellent amount of time in between each delivery. Critical for these Walmart runs. Critical. I don't know if I mentioned there was this one warehouse. I think it was a Dollar General. Dollar General, yeah. That one. Oh my goodness. When I arrived, again, remember this, that a load might start off with plenty of days, plenty of hours, plenty of time for you to get from your pickup to your delivery. Plenty of time. But sometimes those loads sit on what we call the spot market, and the time that it'll take you to pick up and deliver starts to get lower and lower as the days go on. So a dispatcher might come to an agreement with a broker with, well, sometime. I'm going to say sometime because the amount of time can be so short from the pickup to the delivery. The slightest thing can cause you to be late. For example, if I have to pick up a load just south of Atlanta and it picks up at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and it could be a 600-mile run. Let's make it 500 miles. Well, a 500-mile run, you're supposed to be able to complete that with your 11 hours. You're supposed to be able to. According to the... and here we go again with the numbers. If you're just going by the numbers, yeah, you have a truck that travels at 65 miles an hour, 650 miles for 10 hours, right? Because 65 miles an hour, 65 times 10 is 650, right? If you do that math, the math sounds correct. Yes. If it's traveling at 65 miles an hour, it'll take you 10 hours to do 650 miles. Therefore, you should be able to do the 500 miles, which is less, within the 11 hours of drive time. It stands to reason. Those are the numbers. Well, let's apply that to the real world. So you go to your pickup. Is this the first time you're going to your pickup? Oh, it is. Okay. So then you don't know their procedures. Different warehouses have different procedures. Even within the same company, you can have a warehouse from the same company following certain procedures in one location and slightly different in another location. But let's go back and say that this is your first time. Okay. Do you know where the entrance is? Oh. You don't know where the entrance is. Okay. You want to save yourself a headache? Open up Google Maps Put the setting on satellite. Put the location in and start looking around. Start looking to see where the docks are, where the entrance is. If you don't do that, and this is your first time going to this warehouse, you may not find the entrance right away. Here's a problem. Where is this warehouse located? Is it surrounded by residential areas? If it is, you may encounter roads that you cannot turn on to get to the warehouse. So, not knowing where the entrance is, driving by and seeing some sign, or sometimes they don't even put signs up that let you know this is the entrance. And it may not look like an entrance for a truck. It may just look like a street that might send you down to a residential area. But it happens to be the street or the driveway to the facility you're looking for. You don't know what to do at that point. So now you've gone past the street that you need to turn onto, and now you gotta figure out what's going on, because your GPS is saying you're going past it. You're looking around and you don't see the warehouse, and you don't know if this street actually takes you to the warehouse because your GPS just finished telling you arrived. Okay, so remember, it's 500 miles. You're supposed to be able to do that in 10 hours. By the way, I didn't mention how far you were from the warehouse for you to head there anyway. It could have been 50 miles away. It could have been 65 miles away. If it was 65 miles away, it stands to reason, according to the numbers, that you're an hour away. Cool. This is something that you're going to experience as a truck driver. The dispatcher may have never driven a truck in his life, so they don't consider the nuance with the mission. You're south of Atlanta now. My question is, how far south? Now you're going, it's 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock is your pickup. You got the load at 12 o'clock. Your clock is good to go. You start heading over there. You encounter traffic. Oh no, not traffic. Yes, traffic. What happens when you hit traffic? You're not traveling at 65 miles per hour anymore. Now you're traveling at 15 miles an hour. So in 1 hour, if you're traveling 15 miles an hour, how far will you get in 1 hour? 15 miles. That's it. But you're supposed to be headed in a direction that's 65 miles away. Yeah, well, guess what? Now you're slowing down. And your clock is not stopping. Your clock keeps going. Your driving clock is going. So something that would have taken you 1 hour to get to might take you an hour and a half, 2 hours, because of traffic. So you started off with 11 hours. Now you're down to 9 and a half, maybe 9 hours. But wait a minute, you got 500 miles to go. You were supposed to be able to do that in 10 hours or less because your truck moves at 65 miles an hour. Right. You finally figured out how to get to the facility. And now they're giving you a list of instructions of what you got to do. Now they're telling you, okay, the shipping off, you go to that lot. You see that lot over there? And you nod and you go, yeah. Okay, you're going to park alongside those trucks. Those trucks there, they're waiting to get called for a door. Huh? Waiting? Okay. Let's go park in that lot. You park in that lot, then you walk to the shipping office, which is right across, right there. It's right there. Okay, let's go right there. Go in the shipping office. Okay, you provide them with whatever information they ask for. Yeah, we need your number. We'll call you when we get a door. Okay. Clock is ticking, y'all. You finally get that call. 45 minutes later, they give you the instructions. You might have to slide your tandems. You may not have to slide your tandems. Back into the door. Now you gotta wait. Okay. We'll call you. Even if the light by the door turns green, which means we're done, you are not to pull out that door. You gotta wait for us to call you. And then you got to come get your paperwork. Then you can go pull out. Okay, cool. Okay. To sum it up, the 11 hours of drive time you had dwindles down to 8.5 hours. You got to go 500 miles. You got to head north. You got to go through Atlanta. It is now what? 10 minutes to 5. And you got to go through Atlanta. If you've never driven through Atlanta, let me tell you, the traffic is horrendous. Horrendous. You get through Atlanta finally after like an hour and a half. So you really didn't advance much. You as the driver, you understand, yes, the numbers say one thing, but those numbers don't apply to reality. They don't necessarily translate well in the real world. The dispatcher might have an understanding. The broker may not care. The owner of the company is mad because that load should have been delivered the same day. And there's a late fee because you didn't get there on time. So whatever they thought they were going to get paid for the load, there was going to be a $250 deduction from that. Now they're getting on the driver's behind because to them, they don't understand. Because they have the numbers. Yeah, they have the numbers. But again, those numbers, they don't reflect reality. So I'm glad you know how to multiply, divide, add, subtract. I'm happy for you. But however well you can do those operations, those mathematical operations, they just don't apply to reality. So let's get down to this DC, this Walmart DC. Fortunately, whoever planned this thing out knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing. Makes for a less stressful process to pick up and deliver. So with that, y'alls, I would love for you to stay fresh. I would love for you to become profitable. Shout out to all my peoples. Shout out to my subs. I love all you guys. It is because of you that I get on this mic and create these videos. You guys are my motivation. Now it's time to leave you with Kitty. Hey Kitty!
Arabamda aça, seviyorum çift kalem aça. Göremedi kimseden fayda. İşler